A few weeks ago, I did a video that was primarily well received on the Rolling Stones' 1978 album, Some Girls. 5 cool facts. Well, it motivated me to look into their catalog again and look for another album that I could research. A few more facts. Some are well known, some aren't as much, concerning an album released a decade earlier in 1968. Their album, Beggar's Banquet. And these are 5 stories that you may not know behind the songs on this album. Now, in their illustrious career, the Rolling Stones have released plenty of hugely impactful albums, but Beggar's Banquet, released in 1968, ranks as perhaps the most important album. And the reason why is they went back to basics on this album. It reset their artistic priorities. They kind of left psychedelia and drifted back into bluesy rock. And it also began a stretch of albums rarely matched in music history. Many of the songs on this important album have become legendary in the annals of rock and roll. And you probably know these songs reasonably well, but you might not know some of the trivia and stories behind these songs. That's what I'm here for, hopefully. Now, the Rolling Stones tried many different ways to record Sympathy for the Devil, which started out as a Bob Dylan style folk song written by Mick Jagger. They eventually came up with a samba style rhythm, of course, and that brought out all the alluring and dangerous qualities of the lyrics. In the song, a steady refrain, of course, of the woohoo syllables can be heard answering Mick Jagger's exhortations. And Anita Pallenberg and Marianne Faithfull, who were girlfriends at the time of Keith Richards and Mick Jagger respectively, were among the chorus of voices actually singing that part. Brian Jones was one of the founding members of the Stones, and his purist approach to the blues definitely set the tone for the artistic approach of the band in its early years. And his work on a variety of instruments did color some of the group's biggest hits by the mid-1960s. And by the time they made Beggar's Banquet, he really wasn't contributing that much at all. Jones did rise to the occasion, however, with an evocative slide guitar part on the track No Expectations. It would be one of the final times he would play a significant role in the development of the band and its recordings. The Rolling Stones had participated in the psychedelic era of rock very willingly, and they succeeded at times when they really did so with simply gorgeous flower power songs like Ruby Tuesday, She's a Rainbow, and the band realized, however, that they were straying from their bruising kind of blues rock roots. And even though there are touches of psychedelia here and there on Beggar's Banquet, the Stones mostly recommitted to that music that first inspired them, as I alluded earlier at the top of this show. Songs like Parachute Woman immediately come to mind when I think about this cool fact. Of course, the Rolling Stones took on Revolution with the track Street Fighting Man, and they wondered whether the raucous protests around the world at that time really made much of a difference. Musically, this song benefits from Keith Richards' cleverness in the recording process. He basically used a cassette to record the basic track, including him and Charlie Watts. Watts played kind of a portable drum kit that opened up from a suitcase and a vintage kind of contraption dating back to the 1930s. And drumming on that kit created the walloping sound that you hear on the finished track, Street Fighting Man. Finally, fact number 5, Keith Richards took a while before he felt comfortable on lead vocals with the Stones. His first attempt came on the track Something Happened to Me Yesterday, which is kind of a novelty type track released in 1967, a year before this album. And when he took lead again on Salt of the Earth, he did, however, capture more of a somber, bluesy vibe. Mick Jagger did share vocals with Keith Richards on this song, to be fair. This would turn out to be the unofficial start of a tradition where Keith Richards would close out a Stones album with a mournful lament, a la future classics like Slipping Away and All About You.